Hey, New York. It's Book Talk for Book Talk with Jac and Amy. We're coming your way.
For one night on April 17th, we are going to be hosting a meetup with you guys in New York.
Get more information by heading to our website, booktalkforbooktalk.com, and click on the Eventbrite pop-up.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number, 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number, save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
Gary the Snake.
And your last name?
The Snake.
Dream Team.
New habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG. And right now you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months with a special limited time offer. Ends March 24th. After 3 months, plan auto renews at $12.99 a month. Terms apply.
Hey there. We're Book Talk for Book Talk with Jac and Amy, your book besties who take the novels you love seriously.
This is Jac.
And I'm Amy.
And together we mix smart analysis with fandom fun. So let's get into it.
This is our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episode where we read your thoughts and interpretations as well as discuss breadcrumbs from chapters 5 through 11 of Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Silver Flames.
Before we dive in, don't forget spilt, spoilers, perspective, interpretations, language, themes.
If you'd like more information, please go back and listen to the start of Tuesday's episode. And if you want to submit your thoughts for our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episodes in the future, make sure to follow us on Instagram where we collect listener submissions. Breadcrumbs.
Welcome to the part of the show where it has been 2 days and for us, 4 minutes. Since
One bathroom break.
One bathroom break and half a bar shoved into my face later.
All right. Let's jump into breadcrumbs, which, if you're new here, means spoilers for everything.
This and all her other books.
In Chapter 7, Lucian demands Cassian sit when Cassian works himself into a bloodlust. Quote, the flame in Lucian's eye, the surprising dominance within it, hit Cassian like a stone to the head, knocking him from his need to kill and kill and kill whatever might threaten. I'm thinking Lucian has High Lord energy.
There was another moment I didn't talk about where he was like, he said something like, with authority. And Cassian was like, I wanted to like bend the knee. That's not what he said, but you know. Also in Chapter 7, Cassian threatens to kill Eris. But Eris tells him, quote, then you would certainly have a war on your hands. My father would go straight to Braylon and Kostje, I suppose, then go to the other discontent territories, and you would be wiped off the proverbial map. Perhaps literally, since the Night Court would be divided up between the other territories if Rhysand and Farah died without an heir. It's a very convenient foreshadowing of what could happen.
And some stakes that are about to be revealed. In Chapter 9, when Nesta meets Gwyn, she notices the other Fae's otherness. Quote, she was young, almost coltish, with her slender, elegant limbs. High Fae, and yet Nesta couldn't explain the way she sensed that there was something else mixed into her, some secret beneath the pretty face. Gwyn has Lightsinger heritage, the significance of which we don't understand yet.
Lightsinger?
Yeah.
What's Lightsinger again?
I don't know. That's the problem.
She's siren or part water.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right. Light singers are fairies residing in the bog of Orid. They possess the ability to kill mortals and fairies. These ethereal beings deceive their prey. So yeah, a type of siren.
She's part water siren, and then her father we don't know, and people suspect might be Tamlin or
which is
Lucian.
Wild.
Someone thinks it's Lucian potentially.
Yeah,
because her father was someone during a Calamai thing. So part Fae, part water. In Chapter 11, when Farah goes to see Cassian, quote, "Did you fly in?" Winnowed, Reese said you were thinking loudly. Farah's mouth quirked to the side. She can't fly because she can't shift, and she can only winnow because she's pregnant.
Oh, good point. I was like, what do you mean? Now it makes more sense. Also in chapter 11, while Cassian and Farah are talking, quote, Cassian refrained from observing that both sisters seemed to need each other, that Nesta perhaps needed Farah more than she realized, and from mentioning that this mess between the two females hurt him more than he could express. I think that's a little mate clue that Cassian's hurting because his mate is hurting and is hurting his high lady.
I wish Reese had the same pain. I think where it's like, rather than I'm hurting because my mate is hurting, it's I'm going to kill you because my mate is hurting.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But that's because Cassian likes Farah. It's all like, but Reese could try. Anyway, Cassian tells Farah, he's got your scent shielded too. Farah grinned. It's all part of the same shield because she's pregnant and they're trying to hide her baby smell.
Babies. All right, we're going to move on to broomsticks. And the question we asked is, how do Nesta and Cassian bring out the best or worst in each other?
And this was the first time we were like, if your answer is too long to put in a question, please don't DM us. Send it to our other thing. I will say, I love getting everyone's DM. It is hard to like remember to go through them. Not because we forget them, but because they get lost. And then someone will say something cool and I'm like, oh, that's a good point. And then lost they go into the depths of DMs.
So it is easier for us to keep track if you use the form on our website. Yeah. That sends us an email and then I keep them in a folder. People have a lot to say and we're really happy people engage.
Yes.
We just also lose track easily.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to start with an email from Stephanie, who said, Nesta/Cassian, best and worst. They challenge each other to think different than what they're used to. Even before fully understanding or accepting the bond, they would sacrifice themselves for each other. Not sure if that's good or bad, though.
Wait, who would sacrifice each other for the bond? Cassian
They would
and Nesta.
sacrifice themselves for each other.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I think it's healthy. I'd approve.
Yeah, but Nesta definitely doesn't want to. She's like, fuck, I still would do it, and I hate that I would do it.
She's resentful of, I mean, just like even at the end where he's like, you know, we're mates. And she's like, shut your mouth. You shut your dirty little mouth. Don't you say it.
I don't want to hear it. Another email from Brogan. Having read ACOSF 2 times now, I came to the same conclusion both times. Cassian challenges Nesta's belief system of self-punishment, and he actively de-establishes her tendency to isolate herself from her loved ones. I think the routine Nesta adopts through training with him gives her a structure and a sense of purpose, but I hate to say that I only see Cassian as a bridge towards her true healing journey. He feels like the important part of her journey that can't be skipped, the part that builds the foundations on which Nesta is able to rewire her belief. But he felt like a stepping stone towards her true soulmates, Emery and Gwen. I was so deeply moved by the found family trope, and at the end of each read, I felt SJM had beautifully delivered the message of the importance of sisterhood to Nesta. Her desire to heal her relationship with Feyre and Elaine is reflected so well in her friendship with Emery and Gwen, and did enough to convince me that Nesta would have made the choice she does at the end of the book to choose her sisters above her power. That being said, I love Cassian, but to me, SJM utilizes him as a form of structure, whereas sisterhood is the true transformation. I was refreshed to see a healing journey that wasn't simply kickstarted by a mating bond with a 500-year-old Fae male. Love you both, and can't wait to hear your analysis of one of my favorite books I've read.
Interesting.
I agree, but with nuance.
This ad break is shorter than Manon's patience.
I'm really behind on my walking goal, and so I'm going to my secret drawer in my office to grab my Vionics.
You do have a secret drawer with Vionics. It's funny. I've seen it many times.
I love to wear my Vionic Uptown sneakers everywhere I go, but especially on the sprawling university campus I work at. If I have to endure the changing weather, I might as well be comfortable doing it.
And you are definitely going to be comfortable and stylish because not only are your Vionics so freaking cute, but they have Vionics exclusive BioMotion technology, and that's really what sets them apart. They began revolutionizing medical orthotics Today, they continue to use that science to engineer shoes that leave you feeling energized and confident all day.
My Bionic Uptown sneakers are the only sneakers I don't have to put my custom orthotics into because they've got responsive cushioning and contoured support that makes them perfect for all day, everyday wear.
If people knew how you really do have to insert your custom.
Man, it's such a pain. It's such a pain, but not with Bionic.
Bionic even offers an exclusive 30-day guarantee. Wear them, love them, or return them for a full 30-day refund. But honestly, I think you're going to love them.
Use code BookTok at checkout for 15% off your entire order at bionicshoes.com when you log into your account. It's a one-time use only, so use code BookTok, BOOKTALK, wisely.
Bionic shoes, wearable well-being for your feet.
Sisterhood and having a clean slate to develop a sisterhood with Emery and Gwyn does transform Nesta.
Mm-hmm.
But Nesta, I don't think would ever have been able to get there without Cassian. So yes, in that way, he might be a stepping stone. But it's not one she chose. He drags her kicking and screaming out of herself. He drags her into socialization and learning to be in her body. I think that, yes, SJM utilizes him, but he wants to be utilized, right? He wants to be a tool for the people he loves. He wants to be helpful to the people he loves. And he's very willing and happy to be that for Nesta.
Yeah.
So is it a bad thing? I don't think so.
Well, I think it's a use of words. If you want to call it a stepping stone, then it's not shading this person at all. But I think that another way of reframing it is when you're with a partner, you should feel safe enough to expand and explore. And I know Nesta's not with Cassian, and I know she doesn't necessarily feel safe, but riddle me this, would Nesta have been willing to go talk to Emery and Gwyn as much as she did if it was after Cassian told her that she wasn't worth fighting for and no one wanted her and everyone hated her, right? She talked to Emery after thinking about how Cassian never balked from her.
Yeah.
You had that thought, and then you have her going to talk to Emery. And I think that when you're with the right person, you're willing to challenge yourself a little bit more, and you can push yourself a little bit more and see what's out there. And yeah, I don't view him as a stepping stone. I view him as I feel more comfortable stone. I don't know what to call that.
I don't either. An emotional support stone?
So Farrah got a cookie, an emotional support cookie, and then Nesta gets an emotional support stone. Actually feels like it works a lot of the two of them.
Yeah, it does. It does.
If you don't know what we're talking about, please go listen to season 1. We were so much better then.
Episode 5,
Good
if
memory.
I recall correctly.
I don't know.
I remember so much about season 1 that I don't remember about any of the other seasons. All right. Our next email is from Sid. I don't know if I'd say this is necessarily worst or best, but an observation. Cassian is always cast in a typically very masculine role and is described masculine in movements, energy, and looks. His being challenged by Nesta challenges his masculinity. At first because he is confronted with a woman's cunning / display of power, but then because he begins to feel for her and his masculinity is challenged in a new way. Can he love a woman who has a side just as masculine as his in terms of energy? Nesta's feminine side comes out in 2 ways, with her indifference and desire to not train, and then later again when she starts to have feelings for Cassian. When they both start to have feelings for one another, the same side of feminine energy comes out, which both of their masculine traits scramble to bury, which usually comes out in self-destruction. Further, they both have shame, which is different than guilt. When they both talk about what they are ashamed of, they help each other change that into guilt, which spurs action and change. So that would be a good thing. This is interesting, this masculine versus feminine in both of them. What do you think?
I love this interpretation, and this is not me. This, when we say the readers have their own interpretation of the text, this is one of those things where I love, yes, that's your interpretation of the text. I love it. I feel like my interpretation, I've never interpreted Cassian as claiming masculinity. Give me an episode, I'll probably change my mind. But from what I remember and recall and what I've seen before, I think Cassian has never been threatened masculinity-wise because he's the general of an army, right? He is one of the strongest Illyrians to ever lived. He talks about having to be able to kick Rhys's ass. I don't view him as being threatened. Now, if we want to talk about feminine energy and we want to talk in a heteronormative way that, he's more emotionally in tuned, then dare I say, Nesta, I find him to be very emotionally intelligent, which as a society you might deem as a quote unquote feminine trait. I find his femininity to be challenged. His ability to embrace that quote unquote feminine side, to embrace that side of himself that gets to feel those feelings is the most threatened part of Nesta and her quote unquote masculine traits.
I want to dovetail off of that because I can see both interpretations.
Yeah.
In some ways, so Cassian is very comfortable in his masculinity. And by Nesta rejecting to train with him, she is rejecting his masculinity. Less threatened, but more just outright no, fuck you.
Yeah.
She also rejects his femininity. She rejects his attempts to relate to her, to tell stories about how he has also struggled.
To feed her, right?
Yeah. That is a very feminine, what we would describe as a feminine quality. And so she has rejected the good masculine and the good feminine energy in Cassian, which explains why Cassian fucking shuts down. Because he's just well, I can't do fucking anything. She doesn't like any part of me. Now, what does that say about Nesta and what energy she's channeling? I do think if traditional heteronormative literary lens tells us that the masculine energy is not emotionally intelligent, which is not the truth, it's just how we use it in literature, then yes, Nesta is channeling masculine energy that rejects emotion, that rejects help, that rejects all of these things, right? But she does also possess feminine energy with her smutty books, but that is sacred to her. And she's not willing to share it because it is so sacred. And so she has to find a way to be able to share the feminine side of her. And it's not until she does that Cassian is let in.
I actually find them to be a very refreshing sense of a couple that both have the feminine and masculine energy that do counterbalance one another nicely when they decide to play nicely. And maybe I'm projecting in a way because I find that I myself as someone who has both energies. You can view my drive as a very masculine trait, which is sometimes guys do view. So yeah, this could be me projecting absolutely and being there's a balance. They can both have it. It's fine. She's feminine too.
Plot twist, it's an ad break, but we promise it is still canon. I'm preparing to get married, which means I'm thinking a lot about what it means to merge finances. And I think I'm going with Chime.
Chime isn't just another banking app. They unlock smarter banking for everyday people with products like MyPay, giving you access to up to $500 of your paycheck anytime and getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Some of these old banks still don't do this.
We're at Romantasy BookCon, and I don't get paid for another 2 days. I could really use Chime right now.
I don't get paid for another 2 days too. I'm really sad. It's not stopping me from buying everything, but it is also making me want to switch to Chime.
Because they don't have overdraft fees, minimum balance fees, or monthly fees.
You can also earn up to 3% APY on savings. That's 7 times higher than a traditional bank.
It's also rated 5 stars by USA Today for customer service because they have real humans 24/7.
And with the Chime card, it's the new way to build credit history with your own money and get rewarded every single day.
There's no annual fees, no interest, and no strings attached. Who can resist that?
Chime is not just smarter banking, it's the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today.
It just takes a few minutes to sign up. Head to chime.com/booktalk. That's chime.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services, a secured Chime Visa credit card, and MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. MyPay eligibility requirements apply, and credit limit ranges $20 to $500. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. See chime.com/fees info. Advertised annual percentage yield with Chime Plus status only. Otherwise, 1.00% APY applies. No min balance required. Chime card on-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. See chime.com for details and applicable terms.
We are going to so many book conventions the next couple months, and do I need a whole new wardrobe?
I think so, because I'm not prepared for weather in New York.
Honestly, I am not about the fast fashion. I am all about Quince and how they prefer quality over quantity.
Quince makes high-quality wardrobe staples using premium fabrics, like 100% silk and organic cotton.
They even have a lightweight cotton cashmere sweater that's perfect for the changing seasons, especially in New York. And they have amazing spring colors, so I'll be able to be very versatile with all of the cute sweaters they have.
Quince clothing is consistently rated 4.5 to 5 stars by thousands of customers. Real people wearing these pieces every day actually love them. And honestly, they're better than some of my favorite expensive brands.
I personally love my boyfriend sweater that I got last year, and I still wear it all the time. And I'm sad that it's going to be warm, so I guess I'm going to have to find another sweater.
Stop waiting to build the wardrobe you actually want. You don't need a closet full of options. You just need pieces that work for you.
Right now, go to quince.com/BookTok for free shipping and 365-day returns.
That's a full year to wear it and love it. And you will.
Quince is now available in Canada too. Don't keep settling for clothes that don't last.
Go to quince.com/BookTok, BookTalk, for free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/BookTok. I'm reading from Instagram. Cassian sees through her walls and believes enough to bring her out of the darkness she's in. Yeah, he calls her on her walls immediately.
Which she doesn't like.
No.
Nobody does.
No. I feel like we've said this before in a previous episode, but as much as I love this book and I love everything about Cassian and Nesta, I find it to be a very unhealthy representation that I feel like no one should ever expect or wait for someone to try to bring down their walls. And I know that's something that, like, every once in a while I'll see a TikTok of someone being like, and my boyfriend, every time I tried to break up with him, he said no, like he knew I was just running away. And it's like, you don't wait for someone. Also, what says that about them?
Well, I mean,
what does that say about them?
I think that's still valid here.
Yeah.
Cassian doesn't view himself very highly. It's not just that he believes in Nesta, he doesn't value himself.
Yeah.
The way that he values others. That's why he's willing to wait.
Yeah.
He's got nothing better.
Oh my God, this is harsh. If Cassian respected himself more, he would have left Nesta a while ago.
Exactly.
That's some harsh ass. I know someone sitting in their car or wherever they're listening going, oh my God. So if you're waiting for someone to come banging at your door, you're waiting for someone who has a lot of issues themselves.
Well, and do you not deserve more respect from yourself?
And that's the thing where I think part of the reason this is my mentality, one of the reasons why I first started going to therapy is I want to have respect for the man that I end up with. And I respect whoever that man may be enough already to say, I need to try to get my shit in order.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that like in every way I can of like, okay, how do I get myself emotionally stable, emotionally okay, medicated, my finances, like, you know, yeah. Cassian and Nesta, issues. Okay. Why don't we all just sit down and cope with that? This is another one from Dazzy. Oh, that one was from Samantha. This one is from Dazzy Daisy. Cassian doesn't celebrate Nesta for who she is. Eris would have been a better match for her. Interesting.
Fighting words.
I mean, doesn't Cassian? There's a lot of people online who think that Nesta and Eris are actually mates.
Yeah. I do know that. Well, I reserve the right to be silent until we get to more Nesta-Eris interactions.
We're recording. You have to say the things now, and then we can change our mind.
But I don't have an opinion because I don't know. So yeah. Cassian doesn't celebrate Nesta as she is. But here's the thing. we're in the first 11 chapters of the book. I'm not looking at future chapters because, quite frankly, I don't remember future chapters all that well. Should Cassian be celebrating Nesta as she is in the first 11 chapters?
Nope.
No. That would be enabling bad behavior. That would be enabling an unhealthy self-loathing. So she should be challenged. She should not be celebrated.
By the time Eris comes into the picture, she's already on the road to healing. And it's very easy to say, like, and I'm not saying easy for you, sorry, listener, but it's like I could see it being narratively easier to say, oh, these two work because there's no conflict here. Well, Eris got to come in during the easier part.
Yeah. Here's my feeling, and I might not articulate this well. It's akin to this idea that Nesta chooses Gwyn and Emery because they have a blank slate versus her sisters with whom she has more trauma and issues and history that she has to deal with. Sure, Eris might be a better fit because she has less baggage with him, right? Whereas she has baggage with Cassian. She has caused him harm. It is much harder to pursue that, just like it's harder to heal with her sisters.
And on that note, maybe Eris is the better match just because he hasn't been through the shit. Like, I mean, at that point, poor Cassian is like, I'll take anything from you, even some midnight lovin'.
Yeah. The only person who did some healing in this book, I'm going to guess, is Nesta. I don't think Cassian does a lot of healing in this book.
No, he does at the very end when he's willing to walk away from her.
I don't even remember that.
From what I remember, he's willing to walk away from her and is like, all right, I'm done. Like, I have thrown myself at your feet enough times that I am done. And then she's like, fine, we're mates. Are you happy now?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think that's how it goes. It's been such a long time. I'm sorry. All right, this is from Marie Chestina. Both bring each other's stubbornness out, but that also fortifies their determination. Yeah.
Just like we bring each other's stubbornness out.
I was literally about to ask, do you think I'm stubborn?
What is doubling down if not stubbornness?
It is a joy. I'm doubling down on this.
Scorpios are a fixed sign and they have stubbornness. And you are Scorpio rising.
I be stubborn. Well, I was like, shit, maybe does my partner need to be stubborn? My guy? Who knows?
Will that drive you crazy?
I don't know. Just make a better point than me. Then I'm flexible if you just make a smart point.
It's true.
It is true, isn't it?
It is true.
Yeah. If you make a good point, I'm like, oh yeah, I can be swayed. Just be smart.
Yeah. Yep. Just be right.
And that's the thing. It's like, I'm totally okay if someone is right. It's just often that they're more right than I. It's not my fault that people don't know how to articulate their point. Okay, one more before Amy goes into some more emails. They both have kind of abrasive personalities, especially to people who don't know them. They got that harsh personality. Yeah. They got I think Cassian is very boisterous. You know?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, they are cut from the same cloth. Cassian treats Devlin and other Illyrians he doesn't respect the same way Nesta treats everybody else who she doesn't respect.
Yeah. I think Cassian goes into an interaction with like, yeah, you can prove me right or wrong. Like, kind of like, all right. Like, I have nothing, here. Versus I feel like Nesta goes into an interaction of like, you must show why you don't suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prove it to me. Yeah.
All right. This email is from Heidi. Nesta and Cassian both give each other what the other lacks. Nesta gives Cassian the confidence in who he is so he can be more than what he thinks. He gives her the confidence not to hide her soft parts and open her heart. She was trained to be one thing by her mother, and he's given her permission to be who she wants to be rather than what she thinks she is. However, they both have a similar flaw in that they have tempers and they come out in similar ways to the point they will regret things they've done and said. But on the flip side, they bring out each other's fire, willing to kill for each other, and when they trust each other, that fire kills Brialyn and Lanthus. I mean, honestly, in a lot of ways, compared to Feyre and Rhys, I would say their relationship mirrors more relationships in real life.
Go on.
Just because I think And you know, maybe it's just the relationships I've been around.
I know. I was
right?
like, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, you're like the anxious and avoidant attachment is really a relationship.
No, I mean, this idea that they argue with each other, they're both kind of like set in their viewpoints and they say things to each other that are mean that they know they shouldn't say. But at the same time, they're willing to die for each other. They'll go to the mat for each other. I feel like that's a lot of people.
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like my parents had a very Farrah and Reese relationship. It was very playful. They were flirting with each other constantly. It was very calm, very playful. I mean, like, and that's the side that I think I'm like, I lean more towards the Farrah Reese side of things, where I am much more playful. I'm not abrasive. I'm not going to start even a joking argument. Yeah, I don't even like joking arguments. Like, I establish in relationships early on of like, you will not call me a bitch, even if you're joking. And I'm not saying that the Cassian and Nesta one doesn't exist. I could see my grandparents being Cassian and Nesta, but couldn't you see that with them? They're just saying shit to rile each other up.
Yeah. Even Aylin would pause to catch her breath. We'll be right back.
Struggling to find the right metabolic wellness support, even when you're doing everything right, has been one of the most frustrating things for me in my health journey.
I've tried other metabolic wellness support providers, and I often feel rejected rather than supported by the process.
That's because Brello is focused on long-term health, longevity, and performance, not quick fixes.
Brello is designed for people who want a more sustainable approach to their metabolic wellness support. Their support helps you focus on habits, education, and structure alongside provider oversight.
Getting my GLP-1 through Brello has been so easy. They make it so effortless, and they provide all the support I need through their app.
Their app is one of a kind in my book because it allows you to track progress, manage reminders, and stay on top of renewals. And if you're like me, managing the renewals is the hardest part.
Everything is managed online, making it easier to stay consistent over time, and medications are delivered to your door. They're so transparent with their pricing with one flat monthly cost. Go to BrelloHealth.com to see if you qualify and explore their GLP-1 plans, starting at $133 per month for your first 3 months, plus access to their app, community, and wellness classes. That's BRELLO health.com.
Any information provided is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical consultation, diagnosis, or treatment. All patients must consult with a healthcare provider prior to the prescription or dispensing of any medication, which will be done only pursuant to a valid prescription. Compounded drug products are not FDA approved, and the FDA does not evaluate their safety, effectiveness, or quality. Patients are encouraged to discuss the risks, benefits, and appropriateness of any medications, including compounded products, with their healthcare provider before use.
Sleep is important to everyone, but I am bipolar, and sleep is one of the most important things that I can do to protect not just my mental health, but my physical health. I always strive to get around 8 hours of sleep a night. Honestly, I have to shoot from 8 to 10 hours a night. And it is so important for me to know that everything in my body is helping me get that balanced sleep that I really need.
For me, the big shift was realizing that sleep isn't just about hours. It's the foundation for everything: performance, mood, focus, recovery, even how you age.
The part that surprised me is that you can't fully understand your sleep without looking at your lab tests. If your sleep is off, your results will likely show it with elevated inflammation and shifts in glucose and cholesterol. And when sleep improves, that's going to show too.
That's what I appreciate about Function. It gives you real data so you know what's happening inside your body. Sleep isn't just a habit, it's biology. And if you want to look deeper to see whether you're improving it or troubleshooting how to improve it, you have to measure it.
I have my first appointment with Function to get my blood drawn for next week. What I did appreciate about it, though, is that they are making sure that it's coordinated around my period. They weren't just like, come here, give us blood. It was like, hey, let's make sure you get the best results possible.
Be like Jac and own your health. Start by understanding what's happening beneath the surface.
Function gives you access to 160 plus lab tests each year, including advanced markers for heart health, inflammation, stress, hormones, toxins, and more for $365 a year.
Learn more and join Function using our link. Visit www.functionhealth.com/booktalk or use gift code BookTalk25, that's BOOKTALK 25, for a $25 credit toward your membership.
I think when you look at it like that, people can start to see the differences, right? Like, think of a couple that just likes to rile each other. Like, one party likes to rile up the other one. And
I can think of a lot of those, unfortunately.
And then think about another relationship that's like, they're just more playful. Like, you've seen me in relationships. Granted, the guys weren't very playful, but I'm very playful. Like,
yeah,
I like the way that you broke it down a little bit that way, because I think it takes it from this very fantasy world to archetypes we see in relationships all around us.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen both types of relationships in my brothers and their partners, right?
Yeah.
Or in the people around me. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that they are just one archetype of a relationship. And I appreciate that SJM has done something different than Feyre and Rhys.
Agreed. Especially since you could argue Feyre and Rhys and Bryce and Hunt are similar. It's a very playful energy, right? Aelin and Rowan's just boring. Prove me wrong. No, I like him, I guess. I'm getting there. But it's like they're just like a different... Nesta and Cassian are probably one of the more distinct archetypes of relationships.
Yeah, I agree. This one's short. This is from Charlie. Nesta needs to chill out, in parentheses, orgasms. Cassian is a cocky man who needs a cranky girlfriend to keep him in check and busy.
There's these memes or videos on TikTok, and it's this like, it's a guy standing there, normally because I'm Latina and these are the things I see. And it's like this like white guy, and there's like a little Latina woman just like yelling, and you just hear music, and the text is, if you see me cornered with a 5'3" Latina woman in my face yelling at me, don't do anything. I'm exactly where I want to be. And that is Cassian.
That is Cassian. He loves it.
Yeah, like if you see Nesta cornering me, going off, I'm exactly where I want.
Yeah, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Let me be in my paradise.
The thing that I'm most nervous about, though, is in the last Crescent City book, Court of Flame and Shadow, Silver Flame, House of Flame and Shadow. There's too many flames involved.
I know.
It is a fire hazard. Anyway, in there's, I can't remember if it's one of the bonus chapters or something, but there's a hint that Rhys has actually forgiven Nesta about giving the crown over to Bryce, because she gives Bryce the mask, whatever it is, but she gives the mask over to Bryce, right? And it's against everyone's wish. And in one of the chapters, it's implied that Rhys has kind of like gotten over it because he was like, it worked out. I don't approve of it. I'm really upset about this, but like, you made the right move.
I'll let it go.
Yeah. And it said that Cassian was the one who hadn't gotten over it yet. And he was still angry about it. And that is one where I'm wondering how much, like, as I'm reading this. So 2 thoughts that I'm struggling with right now. One, how much is Cassian upset with Nesta at the end of Flame and Shadow going to continue on into the next book? Is it one of those things that's really going to be a sticking point in their relationship? And he's like, I can't trust you. We're a team. You know, you went against orders. Or is it one of those casual things that we're just not going to see again and Cassian is just upset? And I keep thinking about that because as I'm reading this, I'm trying to figure out what is the relationship in the upcoming books. Because the Nesta we get in Flame and Shadow, which I do want to go back and just listen to those parts because it'll be interesting because that's a Nesta of like, 6 months or something like that after this book. She's confident. She can go do things on her own. They're just letting her go and take random people through on a little adventure and stuff. And like, if you think about it, their relationship is still so early and insecure. So that's all. Like, it's a lot of like projecting and thinking about the Flame and Shadow and about the next ACOTAR book. That she still hasn't announced.
I know.
Maybe she'll announce it at BookCon.
Who knows?
I don't know if we could make it, if we could survive. If we were there and we saw it and she announced it, in my mind, it's like a presidential thing where she goes and she like does announcement to the people and we're all just in an arena being like, woo. And then she was like, now it's turned into like Steve Jobs. And it's like, and now my project, the iPhone, ACOTAR 7. Yeah.
6.
7 or 6?
6.
6. Okay. I already have my sights set on somewhere else. But yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read the bonus chapters from Flame and Shadow because I'm a terrible human being.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it going either way, right? Because he is the general, and to be a general, people have to obey orders. And if Nesta's not obeying orders, like that's against his ethics, right?
Yeah.
So I could see him being upset with that. It might also speak to the fact that I love you, you've grown so much, I still don't trust your decisions about your own safety or about the safety of others. Could be that. It could also just be like, how the fuck could you accept like that person is an enemy and you gave them one of our most powerful tools? Like it just might be a mind fuck for him. Or it could mean nothing. He could get over it after a couple rounds in the bedroom.
So that's all that I'm thinking about, like, when I'm reading this is, like, what's their relationship? Because for me, it left off in a very ominous, maybe by the time you get here, I'll have found what I'm talking about, and then I'll read it to you. And when I say read it to you, hand you my phone. And see if it's as ominous as I felt like it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I could just be like, he's mad, I don't like it.
For context, I'm going over to Jack's for the Super Bowl. That's why she's like, when you get over here. It took me, when you get here. I thought you were talking about the listener when they get to this recording airing.
Oh, that's so funny. No, you personally. I don't talk to them. Love you guys. This whole show is about talking to them.
It's so funny. All right. Thanks for listening to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jac and Amy. Join us next week as we dive into chapters 12 through 16 of Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Silver Flames.
If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps other readers find us. And of course, we'd love to hear what you thought of today's episode. Share your comments through our form at booktalkforbooktalk.com, and we might feature your feedback in a future mini episode or in a Patreon exclusive episode.
For merch and more ways to support the show, head to booktalkforbooktalk.com. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the handle BookTalk for Book Talk. And don't forget to join us as we keep the analysis going by subscribing to our Substack to get more insights into the romantasy and romance genres. Head to the subtextsocietyjournal.substack.com. Bye. I'm preparing to get married, which means I'm thinking a lot about what it means to merge finances. And I think I'm going with Chime.
Chime isn't just another banking app. They unlock smarter banking for everyday people with products like MyPay, giving you access to up to $500 of your paycheck anytime and getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Some of these old banks still don't do this.
We're at Romantasy BookCon, and I don't get paid for another 2 days. I could really use Chime right now.
I don't get paid for another 2 days too. I'm really sad. It's not stopping me from buying everything, but it is also making me want to switch to Chime.
Because they don't have overdraft fees, minimum balance fees, or monthly fees.
You can also earn up to 3% APY on savings. That's 7 times higher than a traditional bank.
It's also rated 5 stars by USA Today for customer service because they have real humans 24/7.
And with the Chime card, it's the new way to build credit history with your own money and get rewarded every single day.
There's no annual fees, no interest, and no strings attached. Who can resist that?
Chime is not just smarter banking, it's the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today.
It just takes a few minutes to sign up. Head to chime.com/booktalk. That's chime.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services, a secured Chime Visa credit card, and MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. MyPay eligibility requirements apply, and credit limit ranges $20 to $500. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. See chime.com/fees info. Advertised annual percentage yield with Chime Plus status only. Otherwise, 1.00% APY applies. No min balance required. Chime card on-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. See chime.com for details and applicable terms.
We are going to so many book conventions the next couple months, and do I need a whole new wardrobe?
I think so, because I'm not prepared for weather in New York.
Honestly, I am not about the fast fashion. I am all about Quince and how they prefer quality over quantity.
Quince makes high-quality wardrobe staples using premium fabrics, like 100% silk and organic cotton.
They even have a lightweight cotton cashmere sweater that's perfect for the changing seasons, especially in New York. And they have amazing spring colors, so I'll be able to be very versatile with all of the cute sweaters they have.
Quince clothing is consistently rated 4.5 to 5 stars by thousands of customers. Real people wearing these pieces every day actually love them. And honestly, they're better than some of my favorite expensive brands.
I personally love my boyfriend sweater that I got last year, and I still wear it all the time. And I'm sad that it's going to be warm, so I guess I'm going to have to find another sweater.
Stop waiting to build the wardrobe you actually want. You don't need a closet full of options. You just need pieces that work for you.
Right now, go to quince.com/BookTok for free shipping and 365-day returns.
That's a full year to wear it and love it. And you will.
Quince is now available in Canada too. Don't keep settling for clothes that don't last.
Go to quince.com/BookTok, BookTalk, for free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/BookTok. Struggling to find the right metabolic wellness support, even when you're doing everything right, has been one of the most frustrating things for me in my health journey.
I've tried other metabolic wellness support providers, and I often feel rejected rather than supported by the process.
That's because Brello is focused on long-term health, longevity, and performance, not quick fixes.
Brello is designed for people who want a more sustainable approach to their metabolic wellness support. Their support helps you focus on habits, education, and structure alongside provider oversight.
Getting my GLP-1 through Brello has been so easy. They make it so effortless, and they provide all the support I need through their app.
Their app is one of a kind in my book because it allows you to track progress, manage reminders, and stay on top of renewals. And if you're like me, managing the renewals is the hardest part.
Everything is managed online, making it easier to stay consistent over time, and medications are delivered to your door. They're so transparent with their pricing, with one flat monthly cost. Go to BrelloHealth.com to see if you qualify and explore their GLP-1 plans, starting at $133 per month for your first 3 months, plus access to their app, community, and wellness classes. That's BRELLO health.com.
Any information provided is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical consultation, diagnosis, or treatment. All patients must consult with a healthcare provider prior to the prescription or dispensing of any medication, which will be done only pursuant to a valid prescription. Compounded drug products are not FDA approved, and the FDA does not evaluate their safety, effectiveness, or quality. Patients are encouraged to discuss the risks, benefits, and appropriateness of any medications, including compounded products, with their healthcare provider before use.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance, or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/calm.